I have a strong feeling I know what this package is. Finally! So I finally got this gauge pod I ordered from, was it Ortiz Custom Pods? I should gotta figure out when I ordered this thing. I guarantee that it's been like 4 months since I ordered this pod. So it's a cluster pod. This is where you get your stock speedo and RPM are. And this is where your gauges go. I used to have them up on the pillar and they're kind of annoying up there. They always get in the way. But let's go figure out when I order this thing, and then I will tell you another story about why this took so damn long. So guys, I ordered this pod on February 27th, and today is June 13th. It's a long time. It's a very long time to get this pod. And another reason, not hating on the company at all, but I have this photo here I had to send them. So the first pod I got, where did it go? First pod I got, let me get that out of the light so you can see what's going on. It had that gnarly crack in it. So I had to send that pod back. They said they would mail me a new pod right away, but knowing them, you know, it takes forever to get stuff. So 2 weeks later, roughly 2 weeks later, let's see when I took that photo. May 11th. What's today? June 13th. So no, a month later, I finally got a new pod. So that added an extra month in because they sent me a cracked one or got cracked in shipping. But finally, today, I got my pod. I can't complain. You know, it's an amazing pod. They're supposed to be good. So let's go throw it in the car. So this is what I'm replacing, this whole surround around the gauges. That all gets replaced, and the gauges my aftermarket gauges will sit right in here. So I got an AFR and a boost, or maybe I'll do boost and AFR. So to get that off, it looks like I gotta pull the radio. This little trim piece here. Oh, by the way, yeah, if you guys notice, I do have a stock radio back in here. I'll talk about that in a second. But stock radio, I gotta pull that out. This trim piece, I gotta pull that off. And it looks like probably this piece here, maybe this vent. And hopefully it'll pop out then. We'll see. To pull off this piece, this trim, pull that out, and there's a little screw there, and that'll get this whole trim piece off, and then from there the radio just pops out. To get this piece off, this thing just pops out real quick, and same concept, it's got a screw, and then that'll pop off. That vent there just literally pops right out as soon as you get that trim piece off. The vent just falls out pretty much. But this, on the other hand, I'm not really sure how to get this off. It's gotta be screwed on somewhere. Maybe not. Just tugging on it and it comes right off. Unplug that little info button. Squeeze the clip, pop that out. Do have to put this button on the new cluster. So go ahead and pop that out and set that on the new cluster. So here's a general idea of how it's gonna look. I'm gonna obviously throw the gauges in. And see that little hole back there? Right there. I'm gonna run the wiring through there. So there's a little hole on each side to run the wiring. So as far as wiring goes, this is the boost gauge wiring. I ran it right next to where the info button wiring is, straight through the hole back there. And the AFR wiring was a pain in the ass, but I ran it right under this, or right above this steering column, so right back there. And you might get some bloody knuckles from that, but that's the only way to do it. So what I'm doing, I ran the wiring through the pod, the connector, so I can get it connected to the back of the gauge, because if you put the gauge in there first, then you will not be able to get the wiring connector on. So make sure you run the wiring through the pod first, or else you probably have to pull the gauge out and then you'll probably crack the pod. So guys, here they are all said and done. Got my AFR on that side, my boost on that side. I don't know if you can tell, but it looks like my boost is kind of like pointed that way, like up and out. The AFR is fine, but the boost, I don't know why it's like that. It's kind of annoying. I don't know if Mr. Ortiz just hates me and sends me broken pods or what, but it'll work. I like them. Do you guys see what I mean by it being tilted out? This one here, kind of tilted that way, kind of annoying. Ugh. So overall, I would say this pod is, it's decent, you know, it's got the OEM look, but the only things, I have two complaints with it. One is that the left side, so like the driver's side of the car, it's like pointed up and out, which is annoying. Like, I feel like they should match side to side. And number two is the wait time. It literally took, what was that, like 4 months to get, and they sent me a cracked one first. So yeah, but they have a year warranty. That's good. They have the OEM look. That's amazing. They're not in the way. You know, they're not in the way of anything. Like, I had them up here before, the gauge is up here, and they're always in the way. Like, you can't see around them that good. So, man, that's, you know, why is it like that? So yeah, I would go ahead and get one of these. They're $200 or $199 shipped. So for those of you wondering why I have a stock radio in here, I actually mailed that one back. I was having too many problems with it. Literally, the Bluetooth noise was annoying. Like, the sound wouldn't come through at all. It was staticky. It was bad. The radio wouldn't really pick up many channels. The tuner wouldn't really pick up channels. I couldn't get any of the USB ports to work. What else? GPS. Every time you'd open the GPS, the radio would freeze up. So you'd have to turn it off and turn it back on. So GPS did not work at all. So really the only thing I could use on it was, one thing I didn't try, there's a USB, not a USB, like a little memory card slot that you can use, so you can put music through that. That's the only thing I didn't try, which obviously I have a feeling that would work pretty good. But the only thing I could really use was radio channels that would come through, and that wasn't very many of them. So I emailed them, we went back and forth forever. I mailed it back, and they are mailing me the new updated version. So the version I had was the 5.1.1, I think it was, and the new version's a 6.0. So hopefully it's a lot better. They say it's going to be way faster. It won't have any of the problems that I'm talking about. But I should be getting it this week, hopefully, because I'm sick of the stock shitty radio. So hopefully I'll get it this week. Obviously I'm going to make like another video talking about it, reviewing that one. I know the first initial review I gave of the older radio, I loved it, but that was me sitting in the shop like I am now. Not really driving it, not testing much out. So I'm going to give a legit review, an honest review of this new one when I get it. So stay tuned for that, guys. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video of this cluster. It's really easy to install, by the way. It took me 10 minutes. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, a like, and share it if you want. I'm probably going to be sending this to the Ortiz pod place so they can check it out and tell me why it's all bent out like that. But if you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all, appreciate you all. Before I let you guys go, let me know what you think with the spikes on the lugs or without the spikes on the lugs. Leave a comment down below.